What's up, everybody? I'm here with Plato. Welcome to the show. We're going to be talking about Percy Jackson. Yeah, I read the books, the original books, the Heroes of Olympus novels. I really loved those stories growing up. I used to read them through the night because I'm really into Greek mythology, and I thought that this was a great portrayal of such, and it was a very entertaining story to read. Percy Jackson and his friends were great characters. And so now they're doing a live-action Disney Plus series, and it's based on the books. There were movies, and they kind of sucked, but they did star book-accurate characters, apart from Annabeth having brown hair in the first movie, and so they gave her blonde hair in the next movie. And Logan Lerman was a book-accurate Percy Jackson. It wasn't terrible, because it was made by the guy who made the first two Harry Potter movies, Chris Columbus, which I love. I love his filmmaking style, so I was all on board with him making those movies. It's just unfortunate that they never really continued it and that the writing and the direction wasn't the best. But now they're trying to redo it, and they've made some interesting casting decisions, and this story that I've come across from bounding into comics really disturbed me because it really opens my eyes to a lot of the hypocrisy in Hollywood. They make these claims that they're hiring these ethnic actresses, okay, African-American, Latino, and etc. And they claim that it's because of diversity, but they have no idea what kind of pressure they put these kids under. And this little girl is like maybe 12, 13, 14 years old, and she's being put into this role for diversity's sake, and now they're trying to pass it off as if it's an original idea that has never been done before. And I really do feel bad for this actress because this show could actually be really good and her performance could be really good. But because they're doing this whole racial diversity push in Hollywood that nobody is okay with, by the way, it's making her look bad and it's making Rick Riordan look bad. It makes him look like kind of a racist, in my opinion. And I'll tell you exactly why. Let's read this story together. Rick Riordan admits race replacing Annabeth Chase in live action Percy Jackson Disney Plus series is a massive benefit to broaden the cast in terms of representation. I mean, this is just messed up. Novelist Rick Riordan, who also serves as an executive producer on the upcoming Disney Plus live-action adaptation of his novel series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, recently claimed that race replacing Annabeth Chase is a massive benefit to broaden the cast in terms of representation. Speaking with Variety, Riordan addressed the casting of Leah Sava Jeffries to play the role of Annabeth Chase, the daughter of Athena, in the upcoming Disney Plus series. He stated, "Leah impressed me from the moment I met her. She has that sort of steel that makes her a leader, but there's a bit of vulnerability to her." He then added, "Now, again, does she look like Annabeth in the books? No. Was that important to me? No. If anything, it was a massive benefit to broaden the cast in terms of representation." So he admits straight up that she looks nothing like she does in the books. So I feel like just based on that alone, that fan criticism of Annabeth Chase being originally blonde and blue-eyed as the daughter of Athena in the books makes perfect sense. And he's admitting that she doesn't look like anything in the book. So why in the world would he do this? Well, he says that it's his original idea. He says that Disney has nothing to do with it. It's all on him. Riordan previously justified the decision to race replace an assortment of characters, including Annabeth, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly in September. He first explained how he came up with the character of Percy Jackson, and he talks about how his son has dyslexia, and his son was into Greek mythology, etc., etc. So, if any of you who know Rick Riordan in the books, you probably know where he got the idea from. He continued, 20 years on, it was important that I looked at it again with fresh eyes and made sure that the story was speaking to all kids and that everyone could look at the series and see themselves. This is such a ridiculous statement. Does he really believe that the only people that bought his books were white because Annabeth Chase was white and that no black girls, no Asian girls, no Spanish girls or any other girl except white girls bought his books? I mean, they're widely beloved. They were so widely beloved that Disney made a deal with the guy. How do you think it makes blonde, blue-eyed girls feel when you remove their character and replace them with someone else? The messed up thing about being inclusive is that when you're race swapping an established character to be inclusive, you're also being exclusive. Okay, you're excluding the person that you race swapped with somebody else. And though race should not matter in TV series, this is being deliberately done to cater to something. It's your beliefs being embedded into a movie when it shouldn't be, or a TV series, I should say. My son, because of learning differences, was feeling like an outsider, and this was my way of saying, it's okay, difference is a strength, you're gonna be just fine, and you belong in this world. Riordan previously lashed out at his own fans and readers after they objected to the casting that strays from his own source material. He wrote in a blog post on his website, "This post is specifically for those who have a problem with the casting of Leah Jeffries as Annabeth Chase. It's a shame such posts need to be written, but they do. No, what it is a shame is putting this little girl through that, because if you have Rick Riordan being on the constant defense like this, by the way, good job, Rick. This was your own doing, okay? Your own decision, apparently, and now you're dealing with a monstrous amount of backlash based on your diversity decision. It's not the fact that she's an African-American girl, because she probably is a great actress. The problem is that you're just parroting the same crap that Disney's been pushing for years, and it doesn't look original, and it seems like it's being done just to be divisive. He then clarified, first, let me be clear, I am speaking here only for myself. These thoughts are mine alone. Yeah, I'm just going to call BS on that. 20 years later, and he decides that he wants to change things around. Oh, sure, I'm sure Disney had nothing to do with it. I'm sure the money had nothing to do with that. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the opinions of any part of Disney, the TV show, the production team, or the Jeffries family. That sounds like something a lawyer would tell you to say, Rick. The response to the casting of Leah has been overwhelmingly positive and joyous, as it should be. Leah brings so much energy and enthusiasm to this role, so much of Annabeth's strength. She will be a role model of new generations of girls who will see in her the kind of hero they want to meet. Yeah, because I guess little girls just couldn't see themselves in Annabeth Chase because she was white back then, right? All those black girls that were reading is like, man, I just wish that Annabeth was black. Then I'd be able to relate to her more. It's such a stupid statement. And for this to come from Rick Riordan, it really is an insult. I'm insulted because I put so much time into these books, and I remember defending this guy in the past for other things, and just seeing him come out and say such stupid nonsense, being that he's such a prolific book writer and that he's such an intelligent guy, and he's up there in age, acting so immature, and defending this horrible casting decision that will only hurt the little girl's career in the future. It's ridiculous. He's like, if you have a problem with this casting, however, take it up with me. You have no one else to blame. Whatever else you take from this post, we should be able to agree that bullying and harassing a child online is inexcusably wrong. It was your fault. You did this. And it's not that everyone's blaming the little girl. Everyone is blaming you, and they're blaming Disney. It is your fault. And anything that happens to this girl in her career and any kind of harassment that she gets, and I'm not saying that, I do not agree with her being harassed. If you are harassing a little girl for playing a role in a movie, shame on you. No one should be harassed for playing a role in a movie. Now, what I do think should be done is criticizing Disney and criticizing Rick Riordan for pushing a divisive thing. Disney already knows how people feel about the constant race swapping that they're doing. And there's this weird trend that Disney is trying to push where they just take all of these established white characters and they race swap them. They know it's divisive. They know what they're doing. They know it's hurting people and that it's causing people to get angry with them. Nobody likes to have their established things messed with. Even if you're the original writer of the books, changing things around to fit Disney's agenda, I mean, honestly, it just sounds like you're trying to fit Disney's agenda. It doesn't sound like you're trying to do your own thing, and everyone's going to think you're a liar when you say that it's all your idea. That's a bunch of bullcrap. As strong as Leah is, as much as we have discussed the potential for this kind of reaction and the intense pressure this role, they knew. They already knew that they were going to get backlash. So when they were casting her, they were talking about this like, hey, when she plays this role, or maybe they were talking to her directly, when you play this role, you're going to get a bunch of people that are going to be mad at you. They knew that this was going to be divisive, and they did it anyway. So why did they do that? What is so wrong with a blue-eyed, white, blonde girl named Annabeth Chase? That's my question to Rick Riordan. What is your problem with that? They constantly chew us out, and they lash out at us, and they tell us that we care so much about this, and that they don't care, and no one should care. But they care enough to where they're doing it. They're race swapping, and they know that they're going to get backlash, and they're still doing it? What is this insanity? So the intense pressure this role will bring, the negative comments she has received online are out of line. I actually agree. Guess whose fault it is, Rick? He's like, they need to stop now. So that's supposed to be Chiron, am I right? Is that supposed to be Chiron? Because if it is, there you go. They did it again. Race swapped Chiron. In contrast to his comments to Variety and Entertainment Weekly, Riordan revealed that the show's casting was indeed subject to the Walt Disney Company's racist quota policies. Okay, I was quite clear a year ago when we announced our first open casting that we would be following Disney's company policy on non-discrimination. We are committed to diverse, inclusive casting for every role. Please submit qualified performers without regard to disability, gender, race, and ethnicity, age, color, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other basis prohibited by law. I'm so sick of hearing all of these terms. And not to mention that this guy is a complete hypocrite. Don't you just love how they just backpedal on everything? Quote, we did that. The casting process was long, intense, massive, and exhaustive. So who's this? Is this supposed to be the daughter of Ares? Okay, yeah. I'm just so tired of this. It's the same exact trope. And by the way, shout out to Bounding Into Comics for compiling all of this excellent information. Very well done. The Walt Disney publicly posted on their Reimagine Tomorrow's website by 2022, 50% of regular and recurring characters across Disney General Entertainment scripted content will come from underrepresented groups. They have since removed that from the website and replaced it with the following statement, quote, we are committed to inspiring a more inclusive world by reimagining the way we tell stories and who tells them. Yeah, how's that going for you, Disney? Our intention is to broaden access and diversity in our industry by adopting inclusion standards across Disney General Entertainment and live-action studio productions by the end of 2022, with the goal of advancing representation in front of and behind the camera in marketing and more. Ha 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 ha! However, they link to their inclusion standards at ABC Entertainment, which state that 50% or more of regular and recurring written characters come from underrepresented groups, and 50% or more of regular and recurring actors come from underrepresented groups. So this whole notion that underrepresented groups aren't being represented enough in these films is completely nonsense. By the way, thank you, Bounding Into Comics. Great job posting that. Nevertheless, Riordan continued, I have been clear as the author that I was looking for the best actors to inhabit and bring to life the personalities of these characters, and that physical appearance was secondary for me. We did that. Sure, you may actually believe that, but look at the damage that you have already caused. I'm sure that he's already feeling the effects of it. That's why he's reacting in such a way. And by the way, attacking the fans? What a dumb decision. What is wrong with you? Quote, we took a year to do this process thoroughly and find the best of the best, blah, 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 defense, 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 deflect, 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 blame shift, blame shift, blame shift. Has anybody grown tired of this yet? I am super tired of it. Oh, by the way, there's more. He then decreed his own readers and fans as racists. Wow. Some of you have apparently felt offended or exasperated when your objections are called out online as racist, but I am not racist. Whatever. It is not racist to want an actor who is accurate to the book's description of the character. Let's examine that statement. It's not racist. It's not. Because what about all the other little girls who are blonde, white, and blue-eyed, who fell in love with Annabeth Chase when they were children? And now they're seeing that that character is being completely race swapped just to fit a Disney agenda. How do you think that makes them feel? This whole catering nonsense, it's getting so old. He explains, you are upset, disappointed, frustrated, angry because a black actor has been cast to play a character. I swear, they just race bait. They want people to get upset. That's what I believe. You are either not aware or have dismissed Leah's years of hard work honing her craft, her talent, her tenacity, her focus, her screen presence. You refuse to believe her selection could have been based on merit. At this point, I do, and honestly, I'm tired of even hearing his nonsense. His dribble can go somewhere else. I've had enough of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance to hit that like button and share this video with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Later. Meow, meow.